Welcome in to the 2013 USL Pro Championship preview. My name's Nicholas Murray, very pleased to be joined by Chris Economides. And Chris, it all comes down to Saturday night at the Florida Citrus Bowl. Orlando City and the Charlotte Eagles, two teams that are playing very, very well right now. What are you expecting to see out of this Saturday's championship game?
Well, first off, I think it's going to be just an unbelievable atmosphere there. I know they're expecting a huge crowd, hopefully in excess of 15,000 people at the Citrus Bowl. So, I mean, it's going to be electric. The whole atmosphere is going to be just absolutely electric. Second of all, I mean, can Charlotte stop Orlando City early on? Obviously, the way that Orlando's come out in their first two playoff games, they come out like gangbusters, scoring, twice against Pittsburgh in the first 10, 15 minutes. Same thing against Charleston the following week. Charlotte's gone into two very tough venues. They've won in Harrisburg against the City Islanders, gone in then into Richmond, handed Richmond their first loss of the season in Richmond. So they're not going to be intimidated. As you just said, Nicholas, it's going to be a fascinating matchup.
Well, Charlotte, as you mentioned, have been road warriors this season. They've only lost twice on the road in the regular season and the playoffs, and obviously picked up those wins at Harrisburg and Richmond in the past 2 weeks. They've never beaten Orlando, though. Now, last week, they had never beaten Richmond in the postseason before. Can they make another piece of Eagles history and beat Orlando for the first time in their club's history?
You can take all those things from before that's happened and throw them right out the window. This is for a championship. How many times in your career as a player are you going to have a chance to go out and win that ring? So all what's happened in the past gets tossed right out the window, as I mentioned. Can they do it? Absolutely. They've showed tremendous resiliency all year long. Head coach Mark Steffens has done a tremendous job there. It's going to be a heck of a matchup, and this is what it's come down to after training camp beginning in January and February for some teams. Now we're into September. Should be a heck of a game.
Who's your key player for Charlotte? Who's the player that you're going to be watching and who needs to step up big if they're going to win the championship?
Again, with me, it's all been about goalkeeping. Eric Reed has been fantastic throughout his career all year long. Jorge Herrera has been an unbelievable player, for them with set pieces, always very, very dangerous. And Mark's done a tremendous job of bringing in new blood this year with almost a completely redone lineup. So, from top to bottom, they're very, very balanced. He's used his bench very well. Stephen Okai has been a tremendous addition in the midfield. Any one of those three could be my key players of the game.
And for Orlando, obviously they're getting Dom Dwyer back for the championship game with Longtan suspended. Is he going to be able to get the chemistry back with Dennis Chin that they were showing early in the season?
He's got so much raw talent that chemistry I don't think was going to be an issue. But what's that say about Orlando? You lose a Longtan and you make one call to Kansas City and you've got Dom Dwyer, arguably, when he was playing, not arguably, he was the best player in the league. So, again, it's going to be a handful for the Charlotte defense. Dwyer, Dennis Chin, and then they can attack from the back with Valentino. Kevin Molino, I think, is due to have a big game for them. Overall, 1-18, they're just a juggernaut in terms of how much power they have.
Well, we hope you'll join us this Saturday night on uslnation.com, 7:30 p.m. kickoff. For Chris, my name's Nicholas. We hope you enjoy all the action and see you Saturday night.